Roblox is the biggest game in the world, with over approximately 380 million active players as of this year. Grow a Garden being one of the most popular game modes as of recent. The game is meant to be a fun and safe environment for all ages, but more specifically children. But deep within the game lies an evil motive, the grooming of children into gambling. So we as a society have to ask, is this game safe for our children? Welcome everybody to Slow Talk, where we dive into everything gaming related. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Let's get to the bottom of this. So the way that the gambling shows up in Roblox kind of goes over a multitude of things. So we're gonna go over a couple of them. First being loot box mechanics. You see, many Roblox games like to use crates and eggs that you can hatch over time that gives you a random chance of an animal or some sort of skin. Sometimes they're just a completely unknown reward. And with this, kids are essentially pulling slot machines, getting dopamine rushes on the fact that they might pull a mythical or legendary creature or skin. An example game of this is Build-A-Farm. Now, Build-A-Farm has very many eggs that you could hatch, and it's kind of like CSGO gambling, where it tells you the stats of the percentages of the most rarest, most elite animals that you can get. And guess how you get to get those eggs? By getting Robux. And guess what you could also do? Buy better chances. You could literally go into the game and there's an option to buy better luck. And with these eggs taking time to hatch, that just leaves the kids coming back for more or staying there and sitting there waiting for it to happen. Another example is the gacha mechanics. Now, this is a very wide known thing. Mobile games take advantage of this quite often, but similar to the Japanese gacha games, you can collect rare weapons or characters all by chance. And the rarity system, common, rare, legendary, builds a hierarchy of status. Now, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video, Grow a Garden heavily utilizes that. Grow a Garden has over 32 billion visits with a B. And the whole premise of this game is to grow the biggest garden. And with that, the shop gives you randomized seeds. Sometimes you'll have good, sometimes you'll have bad. Within that, the plants that you plant could also randomly generate a rainbow fruit, a diamond fruit, all of these random chance things to get more money, to have you spend more time within the game. There's also that aspect of the eggs as well, getting random animals. The next thing is just literally gambling games. I mean, just straight up gambling related games. Now, these games literally have like wheels of fortune, spin to win prizes. Some of them pop up as soon as you enter the game. All visually designed to look like a casino, but just label it as a fun mini game. This game right here is Casino Simulator Tycoon. It is so bad that my friend Mr. Monkeys literally spent like an hour or so sitting there trying to build the biggest casino. If a grown man can get stuck in that game, then your child will get stuck in that game. Now, within this game, you have to have diamonds to be able to gamble. Well, guess what? Diamonds cost money. And some of these machines take up to 250 diamonds just to spin. Now we're looking at possibly hundreds of dollars you're putting into this game, or matter of fact, your child is putting into this game. And on top of that, there's these free wheel spins that you get at a chance of getting, triple X, 16X of diamonds, and they happen every 24 hours. So that's just more incentive to be there all the time. And all of this is affecting our kids mentally. You see, kids lack impulse control because their prefrontal cortex is not even close to being fully formed. And this leaves it more likely for them to get hooked on the idea of just one more try, just one more go and you'll get it, just one more go. How many times have you heard that in a casino before? And just like real casinos, these games are designed to be all flashy and dopamines and just things going on that catches your kids' attention, giving them this sort of near miss experience, and it drives players to just keep spending. There's also this sort of FOMO and social pressure to get the highest status, because within Roblox, rare items is sort of kind of like an economy status, like if you were in a higher tax bracket because you made millions of dollars. And kids within the game will flex their skins and their pets and all of these things, and then other kids will see it and be like, I gotta be better than him, I gotta get more, right? And then they just go and then they start playing, and they start diving deep, and they start spending more money. And basically it becomes this digital clout experience, but it's gambling driven. And of course, with all gambling, there's this chase the win idea where you get something small, but you want more. So you keep going, but you don't get it. So you keep spending until you do. And you're just building this reward punishment loop like it's a real gambling thing. It's like that one time when I went to New Mexico and I went to a legit gambling place. I went and played blackjack. One, we sat there for like 3 hours without even knowing it. And two, I would lose all of it down to one chip, and then I would gain it all back, and then lose it all and gain it all back. And that's kind of the idea that these games are building. This is real money we're talking about. This is real ethical issues we're speaking on. Now, Robux is the in-game currency for Roblox. It's probably one of the most widely known in-game currencies alongside something like V-Bucks. Now, with these free-to-play games, there's always that catch that there's going to be something within the game that's going to cost you money. Not that you have to spend your money on it, but it's really enticing if you want to get that next level, if you want to get that good skin. And kids are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of their own parents' money because they're taking their credit cards. And then they just gamble it all away in the game. You see, when you gamble in real life, at least there's that possibility of gaining real money back. You don't gain real money in Roblox. It's all in-game crap. It's all numbers and pixels that don't matter. So your kids are just throwing money down the drain. And to these kids, Robux feels like play money. It's nothing special. It's just some digital online currency that's not even real. It's a part of a fake game. But in reality, they're gambling away your hundreds of dollars. But to them, they have no idea. And then we don't even want to think of the idea that they're getting into secondary markets where they're taking these items and selling them on black or gray markets. And there's all sorts of things that could come out of that. People finding your address, leaking your information, all sorts of terrible, troubling, blackmailish things that can come out of that avenue. And just to dive deeper on the ethical and psychological issues that this creates, this is normalizing gambling habits to young kids. It's rewiring their brain with dopamine, saying, oh, if I do this thing and I get that, ooh, feel good hit, ooh, feel good hit. And that's all I need, that's all I need. And they're just gonna keep going. And then later on down the line, they're gonna be 40 years old, so much money in debt, and they're just blowing everything they have in the casinos. And these game developers who are making these games, most of them, if not all of them, know what they are doing. They are creating these addictive, dopamine-filled, color-filled, like it's so saturated and it's just so in your face and just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And they're targeting the kids because they know that they're gonna make the most money off that, because the kids are so gullible and so fragile and ignorant because they don't know what's going on or what they're getting into. And again, with the kids being ignorant, they don't understand the difference between fun game mechanics and literal gambling. You see, a fun game mechanic is when you have to beat 3 bosses and then you get this epic sword that does so much damage. That's a fun game mechanic because you're not gambling anything. You're putting in the effort and the work to beat those bosses. But when you have to come back every single day just to spin a wheel or open an egg that has like a 0.25% chance to hit the highest rarity item, you're just gambling. That's literally all you're doing is gambling. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. Now, to point fingers at the people who run this company, Roblox themselves, they have a responsibility to protect our children, and they've already been failing with the whole predatory thing that's been going on. And Roblox says that they're moderating this gambling thing, but yet it still thrives and it still continues to take our kids captive in the head and take their parents' money. They don't give a crap about your kids. They want that cash. Not only does Roblox profit from those Robux sales, but the developers do as well. So there's little to no incentive for them to crack down and make sure that this place is safe. And once again, they aren't doing a good job at it anyways. If you really want to crack down on it, there has to be an age verification process for these games to stop our children from getting in so easily and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Unlike casinos or mature rated games like GTA, Roblox was designed for kids. So they have responsibility, and they should hold that to the utmost highest standard to keep them safe. But the bigger picture here is it's not just Roblox. There's FIFA loot boxes and CSGO cases. And I'm sure mobile gachas, like we talked about earlier, are so utilizing this idea of just short form, easy gambling. But again, Roblox is different because their core audience is 13 and under. Some countries like Belgium and the Netherlands have already banned loot boxes, and more governments are considering whether or not these loot boxes are considered gambling. And so with all that being said, my final thoughts come down to this. Roblox was marketed and had marked themselves as a safe place to be. A nice, fun, creative sandbox where creators and players could come together and make something fun for the entire community. Instead, kids are being groomed, predators roam free, maybe even protected, and they're being funneled into possible future gambling addictions, all disguised as fun. Parents, if you're watching this, you absolutely have to monitor your kids and what they are doing online, and whether or not they have your credit card information, whether it's already saved on their iPad or computer, or they're stealing it out of your phone cases and wallets. All you so-called regulators and moderators in Roblox, y'all need to step up. And us as a gaming community should demand better. Roblox, do better. Parents, do better. Thank you guys for listening to my little rant about this. If you guys want to see more videos, you can check them out here. Consider liking the video. If you agree with some of the things I said today, leave a comment down below if you have any statements you would like to say or any topics you would like for me to cover. That being said, we'll see you soon. Peace.